Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the live stream, live from Michigan every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's jump right in. All right, so welcome everybody. Here we are again. Scott Lee is here already. Wow. That's cool. All right, so there's a lot of news to cover. Let's go over here and let's open up this browser. And let me say hello to everyone who's here. Mr. David, an EKS and Celtic FC fan, who's also in Michigan. Live stream last week, yeah. Hey, I got a new angle. It looks kind of weird because where's Bitcoin? This is a ratty old T-shirt, but it's one of my favorites. It's like a core Bitcoin T-shirt, and this is the rig angle. Before we get too much further into it, I was talking with David yesterday, and I couldn't get it to work, so like I told him, I said, I'm going to tear this thing apart and try and figure out what's going on. So I managed to figure out how to make the profiles work. It doesn't look so good on screen. That's all white. And then we got rain, which is kind of like a flashing rain. And if you'll notice, like the keyboard and the mouse pad, which has got a flap missing here, are all synced up to this thing too. And then I tried to create one earlier today, red, white, and blue, but the memory kind of overpowers it with the white. And then there's, of course, rainbow, which I think I had on when we first started this whole shebang, and YouTube mode, which is, oh, yeah. So I was watching one of my live streams. Whoops. Sorry about that. I was watching one of my live streams, and let's turn this off. That's if we ever hold up the echo, or hold up the ledger. I was watching one of my live streams after the fact. The next day or something, I was checking out the chat, and I thought, why does my skin keep changing color? Oops. And it was because of the...
What skin?
What skin? My skin, buddy. Not your skin.
Oh, wait. This skin?
Yes, this skin. Right.
Ah.
Okay, buddy.
Oh, how is it changing? Like
it was changing colors because my computer was on rainbow.
Oh, wait. Was it going rainbow?
Yeah, sort of rainbow, yeah.
Oh!
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into some cryptocurrency news, right? Because there's a lot of it this week. One of the things that, a couple of big things happened. Binance USA opened up, so we got that to deal with. Binance US, let's see if it'll No, I guess you gotta. I thought I had it bookmarked. Binance.us should take us to the Binance US homepage. So it's open for business, and I have an account registered. I haven't got my password thing activated. All right, got that. Got this. Okay, our Google Authenticator. Let's do that. All the way down at the bottom. All right, so Binance USA is good. I've got some Bitcoin in there. I don't believe you can trade yet. Yeah, they just have those 7 cryptos that are available for deposit, right? And there's no BTC trading pairs, really. They're all just, I don't know, I guess I could sell the BTC for Tether if I wanted to. I don't know if it would work or not. But anyway, it's there. There's a few more things I could do to verify myself. Um, let's see here. What is it? Settings. Yeah. So you could do advanced verification, and then you could do fiat account verification and bank account management, so you can connect your bank account. Now, I don't know this for sure. I know that Bittrex is $1,000 minimum for transfers. So let's hope Binance is a little more accommodating to us little guys. And then the other thing that happened that was really cool this last few days was a divergence of Bitcoin and altcoins. So we had a day where Bitcoin was flat and had been flat for quite some time. And then the altcoins took off. We had Ethereum, Ripple, Stellar, even Litecoin a little bit. Were all making some major moves in the 20% range, right? The 10 to 20% range. And Bitcoin stayed flat. And then the next day after that, Bitcoin actually dropped. And most of these coins that were going up at the time kind of held their positions and really weren't affected by Bitcoin's drop. So that was pretty cool. And of course, now the altcoins have pulled back a little bit, which they always do after a run up. But it seemed like there was some true divergence there. IOTA is up today. Basic Attention Token is up today. Independently of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is flat today. It took a dip and then it came back, and it's been mostly flat most of the day. So we talked about that divergence a long time ago, and I think we finally hit it. For a while there, it was that the divergence was Bitcoin was doing well and the altcoins kept dropping and getting worse and worse, and that was kind of careful what you pray for, all of us altcoin investors. But lately, we've seen the altcoins recover. They were oversold, in my opinion, so they've started to come back up, in not directly correlated with Bitcoin, so that's good. Let's see here. Chip F, Calgapo, Robert Thompson. Robert, we'll check into your Coinbase wallet in a minute. Let me go through some news because I think a lot of people tune in to hear the top stories, and sometimes I end up jabbering away or jumping into a tech support too quick. So let's go through some news. There's been some interesting news out there. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So all of the 7-Elevens in the Philippines are now selling Bitcoin. You can buy Bitcoin at 7-Eleven with the Abra app. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but this is big. South Asia is really adopting cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin in particular, much more than we are here over in the United States. Here we're sort of hoping for retail investment in Bitcoin, but we're not really talking that much about companies that are accepting Bitcoin. It'll happen, and it is happening, but there's some big adoption stories here going on over in East Asia. So we've got 7-Eleven selling Bitcoin, and then related to that story is another story. Let's see. There's a restaurant chain in Singapore, and it's a food court, and they'll accept Bitcoin. All of the restaurants at the food court are accepting Bitcoin, and most merchants have been hesitant to accept Bitcoin because of the volatility, but they've come up with a little solution here. It's not like a day trading thing. But merchants that are part of this food court can accept Bitcoin, and then if their holdings have lost money over the course of the week, they get reimbursed. I believe that's what it says. Stall holders convert the cryptos received per week into fiat. That way they're not left holding crypto. And the company will also bear any losses that arise due to value reduction within each weekly period, which is pretty cool. And so I don't know if Bitcoin goes up, how they handle that. I'm assuming that the stall holders would reap the benefits if Bitcoin goes up. Now, the interesting thing that they mention here, which is what we all talk about as far as Bitcoin adoption goes, smoothen the process of ordering meals at food courts. Rather than long queues, patrons can pay for their food digitally, leaving servers free to attend to customers without having to worry about cash registers and providing change. So this is the promise of Bitcoin, right? You can generate a QR code and someone can simply send the Bitcoin to that QR code. There are certain types of QR codes that actually include an amount. You've seen me do a lot of, scanning of QR codes that are simply addresses or destination addresses. But it is possible to generate a QR code which contains a single transaction. So if you scan it with your Bitcoin app, it will fill in the amount and the address for you. So that is streamlining this whole process. And this is what the promise of Bitcoin is, a digital payment system that is an improvement over the old handing cash back and forth model, right? However you want to think of it. Okay, so that's some cool adoption news. All right. Okay, so there was an announcement today of a company, CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They're going to be launching options for Bitcoin futures in Q1 of 2020. Now, this isn't like they're not, it's not live. It's just they announced that they will be offering them in Q1 of 2020, which is not that far away. But good news on the Bitcoin investment front, right? The futures front. Apparently, there's been a lot of interest in Bitcoin futures, and it's getting bigger. So this was a big development, this announcement. That was just today that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange announced these new future options that'll be traded in Q1. So that's good news for all of us Bitcoin fans. And as you know, Bakkt is set to launch on the 22nd, which is Monday. You're not seeing a lot of that. You're not seeing a lot of run-up to that this week. I think what they say is the market has already priced it in to a certain extent. We don't know. I was reading some stories last weekend that were saying this was going to be the big week for Bitcoin, and it turned out to be pretty flat. So we don't know what's going to happen. My take is that there might be some run-up to the excitement on Bakkt, which we had earlier in the year, I believe, in the midsummer, late summer. And now Bakkt will launch kind of, it won't affect the market too much, but I think as more and more people start buying these Bitcoin settled futures that Bakkt is trading, more and more Bitcoin will be bought because of this, and that will affect the price. But I think it'll kind of be a delayed reaction. All right, and then the cryptocurrency that I love to hate, the cryptocurrency that everyone's asking me about EOS, and can you show me how to put EOS in my wallet and this and that. I just never was a big fan of EOS. Ever since I tried to create a video to store EOS on the ledger and failed several times and finally just gave up because it's just too clunky to use. I don't want to sound like I'm categorizing any group of people. I don't want to fall into that trap. But people that speak different languages code differently when they write programs, right? because the language, your native language, is your thought process, right? And so people with different languages have different thought processes, and they communicate things in a different way, and they write code in a certain way. And when I use code that's written by people that speak Chinese, I always find it difficult to use and dense and clunky and not very user friendly, so to speak. So EOS falls into that one of that category. All of the wallets for EOS are obviously written by people that were coding in Chinese or the Chinese version of Windows, whatever. I won't get into that too far, but I never could get it to work. And now, and I always objected to having to pay to be on their blockchain. It's part of their business model. But now the worst fears about EOS are proving true. The story is basically saying that the contributors, or whatever you call these people, what do they call them? I guess contributors, whatever they are, they're getting too concentrated. And the claim is there's too many of them in China. I don't think that's really the problem. I think the problem is that there are too many people that have too much control over the EOS blockchain. Whether they live in China or Russia or India, it doesn't really matter. It's becoming too centralized. So their problems are coming up with, and this is really a long article. But what's happening is the little guys are kind of getting pushed out from making profit with EOS. All right. So you might want to, I should put links to all of these in the description. So lazy. All right. Maybe I'll do that after we do this. And then let's see. I think we covered everything. Oh, there's a new hacking scare out. The mainstream media that loves to bash Bitcoin loves to promote these scary stories about people hacking into your computer. And look at that. This is exactly what people think of as hackers, right? They hack into your computer and steal your Bitcoin, right? So it's a Trojan, and it does. I guess once downloaded and installed on your computer, it will search and install keyloggers and look for a file, specifically in your app data folder, the Litecoin wallet.dat and the Bitcoin wallet.dat. And I did a little research, and the private keys are stored in those files. But if you set up the wallet and give it a password, then that file is encrypted. So if you set up and these are desktop-based wallets, like the Bitcoin Core wallet or other wallets that are based on Bitcoin Core. I don't know about Electrum Bitcoin wallet. But basically, when you set up these wallets, they give you an option to password protect the wallet, and that encrypts the wallet.dat file. So if you're a smart user of these wallets, you'll know that it should be password protected. And the longer the password, the harder the wallet.dat file would be to crack, even if the attacker got a copy of it, right, if it were encrypted. And second of all, this is generally is installed by it's like a phishing attack, where you receive an email with an attachment and the unsuspecting user downloads it or runs it or whatever, and people like us that are cognizant of these sort of things don't normally fall into those traps. I think that they seem to be getting better at these phishing attacks, but I think the savvy users can spot them a mile away. I mean, first of all, if they're telling you to log into Wells Fargo and you don't have Wells Fargo, then don't log into don't. That's a fail right there. And don't follow a link that asks you to log into anything where you're giving up your password. But these are more like a phishing attack where someone says, hey, check out this video, and you run it, or they'll say, check out this picture I took while I was on vacation, and they trick you into thinking it's somebody you know and that sort of stuff. So just don't download attachments from untrusted sources. It's as simple as that. And then you'll be free of these. And not to mention, if you're running anti-malware and antivirus, you'll probably get an alert if you do try to download any of these. But anyway, scary story about hackers stealing your Bitcoin. But not as scary as they make it out to be. They always make it sound worse than it really is. And then I think Crypto.com, who, as you know, I partner with Crypto.com. And so I've done several videos, educational videos on their platform. And they give me information and whatnot. This was a mainstream story that I just stumbled upon. They've achieved cryptocurrency security standard level 3 compliance, which means that they've implemented certain security features in their app and their exchange, and all of their software is falling into compliance here. So I read about Crypto.com quite often in the mainstream news because they're a very up and coming cryptocurrency company, right? They're more than just an exchange, right? They've got the MCO Visa card where you can you stake the card. It's like a secured credit card. You have to put some money on deposit in their platform, and then you've got this card, and you can top it up with cryptocurrency and spend it in the real world anywhere that accepts Visa. Pretty cool. And then they've got that crypto earn thing where you can store crypto on their platform and earn interest, good interest. And they're not the only ones doing that. Binance is going to start doing that. I'm sure it won't be long before Coinbase and Bittrex will start paying you interest to store your cryptocurrency on their platform. So a lot of great stuff going on in the crypto sphere. So I think that's it with the news. And we talked about the market a little bit. All right, so we did have Robert, who he had a question about his Coinbase wallet. SEXRP. I like that. SEXRP. Yeah. Not quite as funny as XRP my pants, but I like XRP. That's good. SEXRP. Oh yeah, Scott, go deal with the repairman. Thumbs up completed. Scott Lee, thumbs up. EOS has a 1 billion war chest and Digibyte has none but a wonderful community. Guess who will moon first? Scott has a lot of... What's up, buddy?
I played Roblox and the game was so stupid that I pressed Alt 4.
Oh, no. So you going to play something else now?
Also Google.
Google? Okay. Yeah. All right.
So I can do nothing.
Okay. Well, why don't you go upstairs and talk to Mommy then? Easy to keep him happy. I bought him FGTV. If those of you who are not aware of FGTV, it is a YouTube channel that makes a ridiculous amount of
Should we just see what's in here?
And as you can see, it's basically just the dad playing games with his kids, and they're all like decked out with headphones and they play games together. Sometimes it's just the dad playing games designed for 8-year-olds. And sometimes they're like just doing stuff around the house or whatever, but they're just ridiculous amount of 100 million views, 164 million views, millions of views after 2 days. I bought him some toys from this channel. They have like their own branded toys. And so I bought him 2 FGTVs. You got them? You know where they are? They're upstairs on the counter in the silver tray. Okay. Go tell Mommy they're in the silver tray. And that kid has been playing with them for 2 days straight. Okay. Okay, so Robert Thompson said something about his Coinbase wallet and then never added anything. I opened the account with Binance. They let me do so. What do you think? Uh, I opened the account with Binance. They let me do so. What do you think? Well, I think that congrats that you got that open. Um, I still need to go through some more. I'm going to do the advanced verification. Ah. All right. Well, where's Gurky Turkey? Oh, he's pretty much wiped all of the ink off of this now. He's been playing with it so much. Wanzias, hello. Good to have you here. Betty is here. Good to see you, Betty. Uh, I had Rex on big size, so I didn't see chat for a while. Full screen. Hmm. I made a cup of coffee before I came down. We just finished eating, just in time. So maybe someday I'll get millions of views for strangling turkeys or whatever they're doing over there. My God, he watches that YouTube channel a lot. All right, so I was going to move some crypto around. First, I need to get this going, if it will work. Oh yeah, let's check this out. This might be of interest to some of you guys. If I can get it going here. I'm going to share my phone with you guys. I got to turn auto lock off and I got to put it on the right Wi-Fi. We have a 5G and a 2.4G Wi-Fi, and when I'm upstairs, my phone will automatically switch over to the regular Wi-Fi because it has a further range. So when I get down here, I have to switch. Oh my gosh, is it going to work on the first try? Hallelujah. Okay. All right, so what I wanted to show you guys, if this is still going to be there. Ah, no, it's not. Here, let's do this. There we go. All right, so I got a couple of alerts from CryptoEarn. So CryptoEarn is telling me that I just earned some BTC from my 3-month CryptoEarn deposit, which is available for spending. I did that CryptoEarn video a few days back. It got a lot of views as far as I was concerned. It wasn't 3 million, but a lot of people were asking me, how are they paying this out? And so I'm getting paid in the cryptocurrency that I have on deposit. So I put some BTC on deposit. I put some CRO on deposit. And I have some BNB on deposit, which I already had in there. So as you can see, they I think that was Tuesday when I earned the BNB. It's kind of off sync. But then I just got some BTC and some CRO. Not a lot. Here, you want? Not a lot, but it's something, right? And so, a lot of people have pointed out that I usually say you should keep your crypto in your own wallet, but times are changing. There's a lot of chatter out there about staking, and there are many ways of staking your coins. But I guess in general, staking refers to you're storing your coins in a certain way or in a certain place that is giving you some type of reward, be it an airdrop or interest earned or earnings from in the coin itself that you have on deposit or airdrops of other coins. What's up, buddy?
After you do your video, can you unsign to Roblox and delete it forever?
Yes, I'll delete it forever. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe 2 years later, I want to make a new account.
Okay. So he doesn't want to play Roblox for 2 years because he's mad. Game. Oh, okay. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. Let me get the clutter here out. Oh, I was in here earlier, so let's go back out here. I don't think that's correct. I think there should be more than that 5. I think that 5. Of course, now it's not behaving right. Okay, so I made an extra dollar today, right? I don't know. That's like, it's not a lot. But the interesting thing is, if you look at the Bitcoin, it's 8%. But the crypto chain, I'm earning 18%. And this is a yearly rate. So for 3 months, you're not going to make a full 8% on the Bitcoin. You'll make 2% on the Bitcoin that you have stored there in those 3 months. So keep that in mind as well. But it's still, I find it very interesting that there's a way, this is a way to make passive income on your cryptocurrency. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, oh, I always store it in my own wallet. And you will make passive income if those cryptocurrencies have a rise someday. But this is a way that right now I can make some passive income, be it not that much, but could be more if the more I store in there. So anyway, it's not long for the IRS, yeah. Well, of course, in platforms like this and in the new Binance, you are, you are fully registered in these platforms now. You have to provide full identification on Binance US. So there's no sneaking around, right? That money will be accounted for on your taxes. You're going to have to, because it's not like the old days anymore. What I was thinking about doing today is moving some Tron into my Trust wallet. So how I'm going to do it is, and I might have to adjust this camera here a little bit. Put this up. First, I'll enter my PIN into my ledger. Now, I have some Tron, and I will say the Tron is stored in my ledger, but we all know that that's not totally accurate. The private key to the wallet address is stored on my ledger, right? The Tron is stored on the Tron blockchain. Pooies. So, but for all intents and purposes, the Tron is stored on my ledger. I have a Tron wallet that is in my on my ledger. All right, so let's see if this works here. I'm gonna need to move this camera a little bit, this a little bit, maybe whoops, do this. There we go. All right. There we go. Nice. Okay. All right. Sorry about that purple. That's my wife's grow lights. Ugh. Let's do it this way. Okay. That's better. Okay. So we're going to go over to Tron. Come on, Rex. You can do it. Stellar. There's Tron. Okay, so we're going to go into Tron. All right, and now that we're in Tron, let's go over to Tron Scan in our browser, which is the Tron home page. And then you've got this Tron Scan under Explorer. And basically, this is a web-based wallet interface. And you can sign into it using your ledger. So it's basically just reading the private keys of my ledger. So, but check out how this works. Right? It wants me to verify the address. So, and that's the Tron address, although it's still not showing on the screen. A little bit of a wonky interface there. So I'm going to prove that. And then all of a sudden the address shows up. Now I could have made note of the address and then matched them here, but I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of hard to match them when you can't see them both at the same time. Nevertheless, okay, so we logged into this Tron wallet. All right. So what I would like to do is send some of this Tron to my Trust wallet, my phone-based wallet. So let's take a look at the Trust Wallet. The Trust Wallet is an iOS-based wallet, non-custodial wallet. The private keys are stored on your device. It's not cloud-based at all. I mean, insofar as, you know, it communicates with the blockchain and the internet, but the private keys and the wallet are stored safely on your device, right? And it gives you a backup phrase. So it's a very versatile wallet. And when it first came out, it was kind of like a Bitcoin Ethereum wallet. But they've since added support for Binance Coin and Binance sub tokens. And then lately, I've noticed that they've added support for Tron. So I was thinking, let's throw some Tron on here and see what happens. So I'm going to hit the plus over here. And then I'm going to search. See, I can search here. I'm going to search for Tron, and there it is. So I'm going to hit plus on the Tron. I believe I did it. Right? And there. Now we've got a Tron-based wallet on this phone-based cryptocurrency multi-wallet, right? So I'll tap Tron, and I want to receive some Tron. So there's my address, but I need it on my computer because I don't want to type this thing in manually. So I'm going to share, and I'll send it to myself. And we'll do that. We'll just do it empty. All right. Let's go back here. So that's our address. Let's go back over here to our Tron scan. Let's get this. And let's go over to our... We don't need FGTV. Let's check our mail. Apple has changed all this. This is kind of weird. All right. All right, so there's that Tron address. Right? Let's copy that. Let's go back over here. Now, we want to send some Tron to this wallet. And let me see if I can show them both to you. I don't know that it's that important that we show them both at the same time. So let's go to wallet. Oh, we can. All right, and we're going to do a send. All right, what am I going to send? I'm going to send to that address that I just copied into my clipboard. How much Tron? Let's do... how much Tron do I have? Oh, I got 10,000. All right, so let's do 2,000 Tron, which is like $30 worth. Ooh, I went blurry. Oh, dear. That's about $30 worth of Tron, right? And this is for our Trust wallet. So, and then we'll hit send. And then we got to confirm that. So let's check this one out. They give you a lot of information here. All right. I'm going to... Hey! Crypto Trust Wallet just tweeted something. All right, so I'm going to hit confirm. And now it wants me to review the transfer. So I'll go... The amount is 2,000. This is what's cool about the Ledger X, right? You get a lot more information. The token is Tron. That's the Tron address I'm sending to, right? And then I can accept that. Yeah, and there we go. Successful transaction. So we'll wait. We'll see how long that Tron takes to come into this wallet. Tron usually moves pretty fast. So I could do it. Oh, boom, there it is. All right. So we got the Tron in our Trust wallet. So that was a neat trick. But I want to do another trick, and I'm going to send some Tron sub tokens, right? So, I got some Tron in there, right? I want to send some Tron sub tokens. So what is a Tron sub token? Technically, they're called TRC 10 or TRC 20. All right, so I've got some Wing, some Tron Dice, and we've got some BitTorrent over here. So why don't we send a little BitTorrent? All right, so we'll do it again. Let's do wallet. Let's do send. And it's the same address, right? It's the Tron-based wallet that's within my Trust wallet, right? But this time I'm not sending Tron. I'm going to send BitTorrent, right? And how much BitTorrent am I going to send? Let's do 400. Is that right? Yeah, because I only have 1,400. So I'll send 400, and this is a Trust wallet. Test. All right. And then we'll hit send. And then we'll confirm that. And here it is up here. All right. Whoops. Got cords flying everywhere. We'll hit confirm there. All right. Now it wants me to review the transfer. This is the cool part, right? So I'm going to go to the next. That's 400. The token is BitTorrent. And the address is that Tron address. And then I'm going to hit both buttons, accept and send. And then you can see the transaction was successful. And, oh, I didn't bring this guy up so you guys could see what was happening. Let's pull down. Whoops. Oh, I hit something. Let's pull it down a little bit and see if that BTT shows up. That would be cool if it did, just out of the blue. Yeah, I might have to go at it manually. And then it'll tell me, oh, you got some BTT in here. But ERC20 tokens will kind of just show up if you send them to the Ethereum address of the Trust wallet. So I was kind of hoping that would happen with Tron. So far, it hasn't shown up. What we should see is the balance should go up. Boy, that Tron came really fast. Of course, that BTT is not worth much either. Well, and if they don't support it, then I just lost some BTT. But I think they did. Let me check here. I still don't see it. Oh, there it is. Boom, bitty boom. It's only worth 23 cents, so I didn't really notice it come in. But as you can see, I've got some BitTorrent coin in this wallet now. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And less Tron now, of course. All right. So, as you can see, Trust Wallet can store Bitcoin. It can store Ethereum. It can store Ethereum subtokens or ERC20 tokens. It can store Binance Chain, BNB coin. It can store BEP tokens, which are Binance subtokens. It can also store Tron. And in addition to Tron, it can store Tron subtokens. So really cool wallet. And I should, remind you guys, this is a non-custodial wallet. It has a recovery phrase. If I lose my phone or the phone gets damaged or it falls out of my pocket into the ocean or Lake Michigan, I'll always be able to restore it to a different phone because I have the backup phrase, right? The 12, it's a 12-word backup phrase, all right? So it's just like the Ledger in many ways. It's small, portable wallet that is non-custodial. No one is holding these coins except me. I'm the only one with access to the private key. The private key is encrypted on my phone. I think it's a really cool wallet. Now, I don't know that I'd want to carry around thousands of dollars worth of crypto on this wallet, but it's good for pocket change, right? And there may come a day where, my food court at the mall will accept Bitcoin or Ethereum or maybe even Tron, and then I'll just be able to go over to the counter and order a sandwich and do a send, right? And then I'll just scan their QR code, right? And send them some Tron to pay for my sandwich. Why not? It's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm thinking of putting some Stellar in here too, but let me see what people are talking about. Chadwick has joined us. That's good. Rick N has joined us. Public keys. Yeah, so Chadwick is pointing out that the private key never leaves the ledger, which is a very important security function of the ledger. You have to press the buttons to send out. Now you'll notice I haven't sent anything out from the Trust wallet, but when you send coins out from the Trust wallet, you'll verify with Face ID, right? So that's your fail-safe. You have to be there. Of course, you know, an attacker could tie you to a chair and hold the phone up to your face, but in general, no one's going to remote hack this wallet because it needs my verification. It needs my PIN or my Face ID to send out. Ledger needs to have someone pushing the buttons to send out. So, and as you notice, that Ledger X has very detailed instructions when you send crypto out. It gives you a lot of information, more than the Ledger Nano S used to give, or still gives. I don't use the S as much now. Has a Ledger Nano S ever been hacked? Is the question. There was a big story where some engineers claimed to have hacked Ledger, and they made a big deal about it. And they actually were able to do it, but Ledger rebutted their story and pointed out that those methods that they used to attack the ledger required physical access to the device. So I'm not sure exactly what they did, but it did require that they had the device there, and then I don't know if they disassembled it or figured out a way to intercept a transaction or some way or form. But the hacks that they demonstrated required physical access to the device. So that's a whole different class of attack as opposed to remotely hacking coins out of the ledger, right? And if you have physical access, you might as well just mug somebody that has a ledger and tell them to put in their PIN. But none of those attacks were remote, right? So the ledger is probably the most secure way to store cryptocurrency, barring an air-gapped computer or a paper wallet, and both of those are very inconvenient to use. Not so inconvenient with the paper wallet or the air-gap to send Bitcoin into the wallet, but when you sending out a transaction is very inconvenient on the air-gapped computer. And then on the paper wallet, you've got to sweep your keys into a desktop wallet. So it's not there's no way to just piecemeal send out paper wallet stored. So as far as convenience / security, I give the Ledger A1. Now, and not just Ledger, but any hardware-based device that has buttons. There are a lot of new hardware wallets coming out. There's Trezor, KeepKey. There's a lot of hardware-based wallets that have their own interface and their own encryption algorithms and whatever that have pros and cons. So, but a hardware wallet is one of the most secure ways and convenient to store your cryptocurrency. One eye open for facial recognition. So someone keeps asking me about the Coinbase wallet. Specifically, what is it about the Coinbase wallet you are curious about? I do have the Coinbase wallet on my phone. I haven't really used it lately. If I can find it, here it is. I guess I had it, and then when I got my new phone, there was nothing in it, so I didn't bother to restore it from the old wallet, and I haven't created a new wallet, so I really can't demo anything with the Coinbase wallet. But it's similar to the Trust wallet, owned by Coinbase, but not specifically connected to Coinbase, although they may have added some new features. It was basically just a standalone wallet similar to Trust, where you stored this key was stored on your phone, and you had a backup phrase, and it would hold Bitcoin and Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. They may have added new tokens too, but very similar. But unfortunately, I can't really set it up right now because I don't have time. You have to go through the process of writing down your 24 word or 12 word recovery phrase, and I'm not going to go through all that. Robert. So what I would say on that Coinbase wallet thing, uh, there's probably a mechanism like this. Here, let me show you. Let's do the Tron, right? I'm gonna disable Tron. So Tron's gone. Balance is down, right? Oh, you can't see, or you, you can see it, but I can't. It was behind your chat window. All right, Tron just disappeared, and the balance of the Tron just disappeared. So let me go back up here to see that plus up there on the top. I'm going to hit that plus. I'm going to search for Tron again. We're going to add Tron again and cancel, and boom, it's back, right? So if you accidentally swiped your Bitcoin off, there's a mechanism in the Coinbase wallet, I'm sure of it, to just add a new coin like you would add any new coin and just re-add Bitcoin, and the balance will be there when you re-add the coin. Yeah. So give it a shot, Robert. It should work. Just do what I did. Just go into Coinbase wallet, do add coin like you would add any other coin, and just add Bitcoin again. And it'll come back with that balance, just like my Tron did. Don't panic. What do I think about a Bitcoin IRA where you can invest your retirement funds? They have different cryptos. I would like to get my opinion on it. Well, I prefer to kind of stay liquid with my crypto. So I'm assuming that an IRA is kind of one of those deals where, you put it in there and you're not allowed to touch it until you retire. You might be able to earn some interest on it, or spend some of that interest before you retire or reach retirement age or whatever it is. But it's basically locked away. But if you are contributing a certain amount of your paycheck to your retirement, and you have to choose between a traditional IRA and a Bitcoin-based IRA, I would be into that. But you have to remember there's some risk to that. Not every cryptocurrency is going to make it. And there's some risk that Bitcoin might not make it. You never know what's going to happen. The same can be said about stocks as well and mutual funds. So nothing is foolproof in this world. So there's always a small amount of risk or larger amounts of risk depending on what types of funds you invest in a traditional money market or IRA account. So let's say they sit you down and they say, okay, here's our IRA, and you can allocate the money that you feed into there in different ways. You could use our blue chip fund. You can put 40% into our emerging technology fund, and these are all have different levels of risk associated with them. So maybe you could mix traditional IRA funds or I forget what they call them, mutual funds, right? Where they invest the money, some money manager invests into a stock portfolio of some type, right? You could allocate a certain percentage of your IRA to cryptocurrency. Not a bad deal in my mind because I believe in cryptocurrencies. Just keep in mind that there will be... Oh my God, I got to answer this. Elite and Discreet, this is Rex. Hey Sandy, how are you? It's good. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, 7:30 p.m. on your ledge. Okay, thank you, Sandy. Sure. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. Thanks. Bye. Okay. So now I got to send a driver. Mm-hmm. Hey, Demetria. Sandy has a box going to Felicia's house at 7:30 tonight. Period. It might help make up for no box from Lisa. Period. My gosh, I did tell you there was no box tonight, didn't I? Question mark. No box tonight. Didn't I? Christabel, was that you? Or was that Alex? That scream? Was that Alex?
No.
That was you? Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Sorry about the interruption there. Sorry about that. Lisa went out of town, so there won't be a box to Lisa's house. Period. So you could just pick up the box for Felicia and head home from there. Period. Thanks. Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, so doggone these cryptocurrency wallets that keep ringing. All right, so well, let me say thanks. All right, so let me see. So the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency based IRA would be something I would probably be interested in if I were employed at a company that, you know, had a traditional type IRA where they were contributing. I would probably devote a pretty large percentage of that to whatever cryptocurrency fund that they had. Thinks good. But that's just me. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not a licensed practitioner. I'm just expressing my opinion. But that's what you asked me for, right? You asked for my opinion. All right, so why don't we throw some Stellar into this wallet? So let's hit plus, and let's choose Stellar. They support Stellar, so let's hit plus, and then we'll go back down here, and now we've got Stellar. Let's do a receive, and we'll share that address with our old friend Rex. We'll make that one an empty. Yeah. Now, let's do some Stellar. Top coins. I think we've been talking. Well, I've been moving most of my top coins around tonight. We're Bitcoin. Well, I haven't moved any Bitcoin. We talked about it. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron, Stellar. Let's see where we got here. Now I'm getting lost. All right. So we're no longer using Tron. We're going to switch over to Stellar. So first we'll go over to our device. This is like... All right, let's get out of Tron. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, both buttons. Sorry, it's so hard to hold this right. All right, so now we're in Stellar. So let's hit both buttons. There we go. All right. Now, let's go to the Stellar wallet. I'm going to do the traditional Stellar wallet just so... Okay. Wow. They've changed their... pooies. That's not what I want. Okay. Now what have they done? Ah, there we go. Account viewer. They've rearranged their whole thing now. All right, so I can sign in with Ledger because I already connected the Ledger to the computer and entered the Stellar app. So let's sign in. All right, and there's some Stellar. So let's move some over to the Trust wallet. Right. Let's go over here. Let's get that Stellar address. Copy. Let's go back here. Paste that guy in there. This is a Stellar address. How much am I going to send? I'll send 200. Let's not go crazy here. Right? And then I'm going to choose Send Lumens and Submit. Let's do... Oh, yeah. Let's put this up so you can see what happens here. I'll hit Submit. And then it wants me to review the transaction. So I hit both buttons in this case. There's no arrows. Right? There's the account. There's the balance. Ugh. All right. No memo. There's a small fee. The network is public. Time bounds from 0. Time bounds to, blah, blah, blah. Transaction source. Giving me probably more information than I really want to know. Finalize transaction. I'm going to hit both buttons now. Or do I? Yeah, I think maybe I waited too long. Oh, jeez. It hung up on me. Doggone it. Pooies. Oh, okay. We'll try it again. Yeah, it just like hung on me. All right, so here's the trick. I'm just going to unplug it, right? We'll unplug the guy. Let's go back. Christabel. Christabel, please stop that. She's just like her dad. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I'm entering my PIN again. Alright, so I'm going to exit out of the Stellar app. I'm just going to turn this thing here. Just like having a lot of trouble getting this to focus. There we go. I'm going to quit Stellar. And then I'm going to go back in. I'm going to refresh this. Alright, so you can see it's not active. So let's hit both buttons. Alright, let's sign in with Ledger. All right, let's paste that address back in there. Let's do 200. Let's hit send. Let's hit submit, and let's get this done fast, right? All right. There. There we go. I was too slow the last time, right? So we did it. Now, let me turn this back off again. So let's go back to this guy. Come on, before it's too late. Let's, there it is. All right, so the Stellar showed up in the Trust wallet. Pretty cool. Now, interesting. I don't know if I could do this or not. I was thinking about it, but I'm going to try it. But I'm not going to risk a lot. But I'm going to try this. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is send a sub token on the Stellar network. All right, so in this case, instead of I'll get this out of the way. Instead of using the Stellar account viewer, let's go to Stellar port. We'll see if this works. All right, so I'm going to go to their wallet, to balances, and you can see I've got some sub tokens here. Now I know that Mobi is a native Stellar thing. So some of these others, like the BTC, is like, there's like a, I don't know what they call it, a bridge, right, between the two cryptocurrencies. But I believe Mobi is native. So we're going to do, it says pay. Yeah, let's do pay. And we're going to send it to that same, whoops, not the same one. I don't know what that was. Probably something you probably shouldn't have seen. I don't know what that was. Okay, so I need to get that destination address back. Okay. It's in my email. See, I know what I'm doing, right? Here it is. All right, that's the destination address. Let's paste that guy back in there. Why does it keep doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Huh. That's really weird. Oh, that's the amount. Right? No. Huh. The amount is required. Okay. So let's do 300. All right. No wonder. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. And here we go. Trust. Whoops. I'm not going to put a memo. All right. Let's not do a lot, right? Because we might just lose this, Mobi. It's not worth much anyway. So let's hit next. And then we're going to need to confirm on the device. So let me open up that little camera for you guys. All right. Let's, whoops. All right, so we're going to hit confirm there. And then I want to use my Ledger hardware wallet for signing the transaction. Hit continue. Then I'm going to hit sign. This is review. So we'll hit buttons, 100 Mobi, destination, no memo, little fee, network public, bounds, source, and finalize. Boom. There it goes. You tried sending an asset to a wallet that's not trusted. Yeah. Now I've encountered this before, but in general, when I did that, I actually had to go and add the asset first. All right, so this looks really weird. So, like when I sent it to a different Stellar Port wallet, I had to actually add the asset to the wallet first before it would allow me to do this. So I don't know if there's a mechanism for that on the phone-based Trust wallet, but we can check. So let's just assume that I want to try to trust Mobius. They may not even support it, right? I'll hit plus. Was it Mobius? How do you spell that? Mobius. No. So yeah, I mean the wallet doesn't support it. So, but my assumption, I don't know that they support any of these Stellar sub tokens. Whoops. So let's see. We could try. Maybe SLT? That would be interesting. No. Yeah, these are ERC22. I don't believe that the Trust wallet supports the Stellar sub tokens. That would have been cool, but I don't think they do. All right, so no harm done. The wallet wouldn't send it. So I keep my Mobius. I didn't lose it, right? it told me it wasn't. So Stellar is a little different than like a cryptocurrency exchange. It won't allow you to send it if it doesn't have somebody on the other end that's willing to accept it. I guess something like that. All right. So let's see. Let me get this. I'm just going to close the wallet. All right. We'll get this out of the way. Let's check this out. Oh, that is mine. Okay. There's a Ledger Nano X limited edition. Oh, okay. I Googled myself. Let's just try it that way. We'll see. I hope I didn't reveal any secrets there. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying over here. Oh, I'm there. This is there. Okay. The videos relax you. I wish I could be relaxed when I was doing this. I always have problems with Stellar. Okay. So, as you can see, Stellar's not that hard. If, you're just sending Stellar from one place to another, it's not that bad. But those sub-tokens on Stellar can be a little tricky sometimes. That trust issue is kind of a thing. But I did manage to get some Stellar onto the phone wallet, so that's kind of cool. Let's take a look at it. I don't think we really looked at it that closely. Oops. Let's go back here. Let's just so you guys can see. I didn't put a whole lot of Stellar in there, but there it is. $14 worth of Stellar. So you can see we've got Tron, Binance, Mithril, which is a Binance coin, Stellar, which is its own blockchain. Now is a Binance-based coin. I don't think I've got the BitTorrent in there, which is the Tron-based coin. I don't believe I do have a GCC coin in there that is an ERC20 that's worth nothing. I think that's weird. Anyway, there it will hold a lot of ERC20 tokens, so that's cool. How can I activate the tag option in Ledger Live? Hi Dana, thank you. That was nice. I appreciate it. Carl is asking about a tag. Okay. So I get this quite often. It depends on the cryptocurrency. Let's go ahead and launch Ledger Live. Hang on. Let me do this first. Let's see. Take this. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, so get rid of that. Okay, that's very... All right, so we can... whenever you launch Ledger Live and it's asking you to run the update, you should. No-brainer, right? You always want to have the latest version of the software for security and functionality, right? You don't want to be screwing around using a Ledger S that's using an old firmware. I get a lot of people that say, well, it's fine. I'm not having any trouble with it, so I'm just going to leave it at firmware, 2.4 point whatever. But I'm a big believer in keeping everything up to date. Right. Always have. I would prefer to experience those bugs in new versions of software as opposed to the security vulnerabilities of using older software, right? I'm always in the column to stay updated as opposed to the the other side, which is, oh, keep using what works, right? But for cryptocurrency, it's best practice to stay up to date, right? Collapsing the sidebar, ability to click on the account, operational detail, help when looking for tokens in manager, some cool stuff. All right. These, is that portfolio? Oh, that's portfolio. Their portfolio and their measurements aren't very useful because, like, if I move Bitcoin off, then it tells me my portfolio went down, you know, or if I add Bitcoin, it tells me my portfolio went up. I really don't care about that. I care more about the price of a specific token more than I do the addition or subtraction of coins. Like when I move coins in and out, I know I'm lowering the value of the total portfolio. So like Ethereum, you know, they're like, oh yeah, it's up this week. You know, well, yeah, it's up this week because I put some in there. I don't know. Okay. But aside from that, it is pretty nice that they can read ERC20 tokens now. So as you can see, I don't need to use my Ether wallet to manage my ERC20 tokens on my Ethereum address anymore, right? I can just do it right here in Ledger Live. That's really big, right? That's a really cool feature that they've recently added. So but the original question was tag, right? So let's say, and I think XRP has a tag. So you go to send, right? And there's the tag right there. If you're sending it to a cryptocurrency exchange and they want an address, right? You put in your XRP address here. You put in your amount here, like you're sending 50, right? And it'll figure the network fees. So like Coinbase, Binance, Bittrex, when you deposit XRP, they're going to say, you need to use both an address and a tag. So they're going to give you the address and the tag. So make sure you put them both in here. Now, some people, when they're using Ledger Live on like a lower resolution or a smaller screen, may not see all of this, right? They may be cut off. Let's say, I don't have, let's do this. Yeah. You might only see this, right? And you're like, where's the tag? But if you look over on the side of this, there'll be a scroll bar. And you can use your mouse wheel to scroll it up a little bit to reveal that tag. I've encountered this quite often with people. They're trying to send XRP. They know they need a tag, but they don't see the tag field. So scroll down is what I always say. And when I get comments like that on the YouTube videos, you know, I'll say scroll down, and they'll go, oh, okay. You know, I don't know why you don't think in terms of like a document, like a Word document when you're using Ledger Live, but it does have the same human interface, right? Or computer interface. So scroll down, that's me. Yeah. Well, true. I'm always moving little bits of cryptocurrency around, but if you use Cointracker.com and put in all your public wallets, then it will track all of your transactions and keep track of all of your capital gains. Now, if you send cryptocurrency to a wallet that is not entered, like you just send it off somewhere weird, it'll just count it as a cash out or a purchase. I don't know. It treats it a certain way if you send it somewhere that you haven't accounted for in Cointracker. But Cointracker will automatically track all of your cryptocurrency movements. And if you're a little less like me and you're fairly conservative on where you store your cryptocurrency, you might just have a Coinbase account and a Ledger wallet. and you can add your Ledger wallets into Cointracker.com, and they'll calculate. They'll say, okay, he had 2 Bitcoin on Coinbase, and then he moved it to his Ledger wallet. He didn't sell it; he just moved it, and it takes that into account. So if you're worried about figuring the taxes on just storing if you're just buying and storing, then I would recommend Cointracker.com for that. There are other pieces of software that do the same thing, and you just give them the public addresses of your wallets, and it'll keep track of where you move all your cryptocurrency. I don't know anything about Hedera Hashgraph. Oh, cool. Thanks, Fraser. Yeah, I mean, the more different wallets you play around with, the more you get to feel comfortable with moving your cryptocurrency. I don't worry about losing my cryptocurrency. Now, I might have lost that Mobius. When I moved that Mobius earlier, I was prepared to lose it if that was what happened. But luckily, the Stellar wallet had a failsafe. There are certain, like if you send the wrong cryptocurrency to the wrong address, you run the risk of actually losing the cryptocurrency, which is why I always recommend that you do a small test transaction before you send out, a lot. Yeah. So I have a 199.75 XRP, and it is up. Let's take a look at coinmarket.cap, see if anything's moved since we started. Looks like Bitcoin is still kind of flat, right around 10.17 where it was when we started this whole thing. Ethereum is back up to 220, which is pretty cool. Ethereum is starting to form its own pattern, right? It is diverging from Bitcoin. So that's a great thing. Let's look at the 7-day chart for Ethereum. Ethereum has been very strong over the last week, and Bitcoin has remained flat, right? So let's look at Bitcoin, that same chart, that same 7-day chart. There's going to be a little up and down on there, right? There was a drop the other day, but in general, it's been just kind of flat, slightly down over the week, where, if we look back at Ethereum, so we have to go back to 7-day. We've got a steady rise over the last week, so we've got some divergence there. We've talked about this. I always wanted that the altcoins would have their own patterns based on their own strengths, rather than just following on the coattails of Bitcoin up and down. And I think we finally achieved that now. Now, I'm sure that large movements in Bitcoin will stimulate interest in cryptocurrency as a whole. And so with large movements of Bitcoin, we're probably still going to see the altcoins following along, right, on the coattails of Bitcoin. But I'm really encouraged by the fact that Ethereum has been steadily rising this week, where Bitcoin has been flat to slightly lower. Right, and not just Ethereum. Let's take a look at Stellar. We've been talking about Stellar tonight. Let's look at the 1-week chart of Stellar. Quite interesting, right? Stellar is up this week as well. It had quite some high peaks the last few days, but in general, it's been up. And then one of my favorite coins, Basic Attention Token, because of the Brave browser. Pardon me, let's take a look. Basic Attention Token is showing some strength this week too. Let's see, we're at 17 cents and up to or almost 22, I think, at one point. 21.3, 21.4. So we've seen some strength in Basic Attention Token, while Bitcoin remained flat to lower. So really cool, guys. Yeah. And then for Scott, I sure hope Digibyte takes off soon. Digi, right? I don't know what Digibyte has been doing this week. I have some in my wallet. How's Digi been doing? A little up and a little down, right? So I do have Digibyte. So I'm not knocking Digibyte by any stretch of the imagination. I haven't moved any Digibyte out of my wallet. Now, as you can see, I don't have a huge chunk of it or anything, but I do keep an eye on it. All right. And I've got some Vertcoin. Some of these have been around for a long time, have pretty strong community. Um, Maybe we'll have a big rise someday. We don't know. But we'll just keep our eyes on them. So those are just some small cap coins that have been around for a long time. And then, of course, XRP. Let's take a look at XRP's chart. See where we were with XRP. SexRP. XRP. Whoops. XRP. Right. I believe XRP had a pretty nice run this last week. Yeah. So from 25 cents all the way up to 31 cents, which is a big percentage, right? And now it's down a bit, but higher than it was last week. So I'm really encouraged by this divergence of the altcoins standing on their own 2 feet now, based on their own fundamentals. It's a sign that cryptocurrency is now being taken seriously, even by traders, right? They're moving up and down on their own fundamentals rather than just flowing along on the coattails of Bitcoin. TGP rules, give it time. XRP, XLM all the way. That's good. I hope I didn't miss any questions there. Carl. I think Carl was the one that asked about the tag. Okay. The problem is with XRP, even I always update the firmware. Okay. So I don't know if Carl, if that scrolling answer helped you, Carl, or not. I hope it did. But if you're not seeing that tag, but you should see the tag field even if you're running an old firmware. I mean, that tag field has been around for a long time. But my suggestion is, make sure your firmware is all the way up to date. The latest version of the firmware is, let me see here. The Nano X has a different version of the firmware. I believe the Ledger Nano S is at 1.5.5, if I'm not mistaken. So do what you can to update the firmware. I've got some videos out there if you need a little help. Maybe just go to my page and Google, just search my videos for Ledger firmware, and you'll probably get a hit, right? Let's see, CryptoDad, CryptoDad Ledger firmware. There you go. How to update the firmware on your Ledger Nano S. I've got several firmware update videos that you could Google and check out if you are a little unsure of what version of the firmware you're on. And then there's a certain point with Ledger Live, if you're not on a high enough version of the firmware, it won't give you auto updates like I just did earlier. So you want to make sure you're on the latest firmware possible for your Ledger, so you'll be able to do those auto updates. And once you get to a certain level or point in front, it gets easier, right? Some of the older firmware, to bring it up to 1.4.2 is a little funky, but once you pass that, the firmware updates get easier to do. So like I said, always recommend being on the latest firmware, using the latest version of Ledger Live. And hopefully Carl does that tagging problem and any issues that you're having sending and receiving XRP will get resolved there. I sure hope they do. Hit the thumbs up on Rex Livecast.
I'm not sure.
Echo. Echo heard me. Let's see. Someone asked me a question about DEX. Oh, no problem, Carl. I hope it works out for you. Hope you can answer my Binance DEX on my BNB coins. I'm not sure. The Binance DEX is now blocked for people living in the US. So if you've got some coins on there, you might try using a VPN to gain access to the Binance DEX if you have some coins on there. That would be my only the advice that I could give you to maybe, I don't know if you got coins stuck on there or you're just curious as to how it works, but I understand that they've blocked the Binance DEX to US. Yeah, so like if we try to sign into it, whoops, wrong one. So if we try to sign into the DEX, I believe that's it. I'm going to see if it'll let me do this. It shouldn't, but it probably will. I've got my ledger connected, and I'm going to enter the Binance app, right? Your Binance Chain app. And then I'll hit Connect Ledger. All right. There's some BNB in there, a little bit. I'll hit Confirm. Okay. It seems that you are accessing Binance. Please note that by September 12th, will no longer be available to use with IP address for alternatives. And if I say I understand, they're going to let me in anyway, it looks like, right? So I need to click both buttons on this. Oh, no, I go over to the right. There's a little arrow. And then I'll hit Approve. And it's ready. So it let me in. I don't know why. It just said September 12th, and here it is September 20th. So go figure, right? And if we go to balances, I got to do that thing again, right? One over, approve, and I'm in. So I don't know. I don't get it. Why would they tell me that I can't access it, but then let me access it anyway? I don't know. Maybe if I tried to... I was going to try to withdraw these Binance coins at some point just to see. But I didn't. I wasn't using a VPN and I got in. So if you're in a similar situation, just give it a try and see what happens. I don't know what type of wallet you're using. All right. Let me go back over here. You know what? BC Vault. I tried BC Vault. They sent me one. I couldn't get it to work. I'm too old. The way that they enter the keys is difficult for me. They use up arrow, down arrow, side arrow, and you have to kind of remember your pattern because there's no keypad, and I couldn't get it to work right. You know, when you set it up, they say, okay, choose a password, and I chose what I thought was a password, and then when I tried to sign into it again, they said, okay, enter your password, and I tried, and it never would let me get in. So either I was doing something wrong, or I was hitting the wrong keys. But it was very difficult for me because there was no keypad. I couldn't see, there was no indicator on the screen to tell me that I was hitting 1, 2, 3, or 4, or up, down, side, side, or whatever, I was hitting. There was no confirmation on the screen to let me know that I had what was hitting it. And the control was small, so my thumb might have been hitting 2 arrows by accident. I don't know. So I couldn't get it to work, unfortunately. And I haven't had the heart to tell the guy that sent it to me. But I'm going to have to say, look, I'm just too old to make this thing work. I'm kind of embarrassed, but give me your address. I'll send it back to you. All right, guys. So it was a good session. I hope everybody's excited about the cryptocurrency market in general and the general adoption that's going on. And I was going to talk a little bit about the financial system. Seems to be the traditional financial system seems to be stretched to its limits lately with this Fed infusion of money and whatnot. What's going on? I didn't really get a chance to talk about it. Oh, okay. So Fraser had the same problem. Yeah, yeah. I just can't figure out the interface on that BC Vault. I tried. I did. I tried. Anyway, don't forget I have a live stream every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me for the live Q&A from Michigan every Friday. Throw out questions. I'll do my best to get them answered. I'll move some crypto around and we'll talk about the news again. So I look forward to seeing you next week. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining and hope to see you again soon.